Yeah. Continue. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so let's start.
Yeah.
Hola amigos de Vericu, bienvenidos a la entrevista con René Rutten, uno de los fundadores de la icónica banda de los Países Bajos, The Gathering. Hi René, thank you for being here. How are you doing?
Muy bien. Hola. Gracias. No, I'm doing very well here in Holland. We have the summer start, so it's really warm today. And we are doing good. We just did some live shows here in the Netherlands last weekend, so that was nice. And now we are preparing for our South America tour shows. So, yes.
Perfect. Let's dive right in. First of all, with the current tour, you're celebrating 30 years from the foundation of The Gathering. How does it feel to have loyal fans that have been following the band for such a long time?
That is almost unbelievable. Also for us, you know, we started in 1989, so we are even an 80s band, and yeah, that's weird. You know, we never thought that we would, you know, be that long as a band together, and that we still can play, and with all the health and the things that happens in life. That we can stay make music, and it's fantastic that we have some kind of group of fans who follow us from the beginning till now, and they accept and appreciate what we all did in the last years.
Nice. Yeah, I've been a fan for over 15 years already, so I feel like I've grown along with the band.
Yeah.
You're a very important part of the life of a lot of bands. So diving into beautiful Distortion, what are the main differences or similarities between Disclosure and beautiful Distortion?
Well, I don't see similarities with one of the last albums. It's more like, if you look back, 12 studio albums where we released. If you then compare, I don't like that. You know, it's a episode in your life that happens. And that's mostly what you write about in the music. And well, with the last album and this album, there's almost 9 years in between. Not writing, but just releasing. So yeah, a lot happened. You know, even everybody knows about the COVID, what we had, you know, in the last 2.5, 3 years that happened. That had a lot of impact in the recording of the album. Because Sigue, she lives in Norway, she couldn't travel all the way up to the Netherlands. So we did all the recordings of vocals in Norway. And we had a problem with recording the album in the studio because it was not allowed to be more than 3 people in one room, with the restrictions we had here in the Netherlands. So that was the problem of the technical part of making the album. And writing-wise, yeah, you know, with every album, what happens in life, you write about it. And if you start with the first album, Always, yeah, we were just young people, you know, it was beginning 90s. We started making this music and recording the album. Yeah, you can't compare it with what we are now, like adults, and some of us has children. And they are leaving house now, you know, they're leaving on their own already. So soon we will be grandparents kind of band instead of the 17-year-old with almost no experience in life as have we started as the band. So everything in between happens, and everything what happens in life, that is the inspiration we did. And yeah, you know, and with beautiful Distortion is everything that happens in life that's you don't want to happen. That's the distortion. And the good thing is everything that happens in life and changes in life is always beautiful. It's not something negative. For example, if in your life a relationship stops, or you have to stop with your job, what you used to, and it's like a panic moment. But after all, it's never something really negative. It can be also something really beautiful, especially if a job changes, something can happen. Yeah, it can be a beautiful moment in your life that, 2 years later, you have a new job, you have new colleagues, and then you think like, I wish it happened before. That also happens. And as well in relationships and that kind of stuff. So, change is nothing negative about it. And that's the whole title for, and all the songs about in beautiful Distortion.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. Like, we can learn from all experiences and just grow and make something beautiful out of pretty much everything.
About everything, and don't see it as a negative thing, because it isn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So now that you mentioned this, like, you've evolved as a musician, as a person. One of the things that at least I, as a fan, love about The Gathering is that even though your music has evolved throughout the years, I can easily recognize, like, oh, I know that's a The Gathering song. There's a sound in all your songs. Even though, like, you change, how do you manage to do this while creating brand new music, like to keep that essence but still creating something new?
I think that happens just because we make it. I call it a chemistry between a few kind of people. I have that with a lot of bands, that they have some kind of chemistry, and then it happens and the sound is there. And we don't think about it, we don't create it, or we copy something from other bands or from the past. We just do it, and this is our fingerprint, that's unique for everybody. But as, if you see it as art and you make it together as an art, then you create this kind of unique of fingerprint. And that's the only thing I can say, that it's just automatically, it happens. We don't do it on thinking about it, or we create it like forced, or it's just there. It's just, yeah.
Nice. And now that you talk about chemistry, I'm just a little curious to hear, how's the dynamic of being in a band with your brother? How is it different from just like having a band with a friend, or are you guys more like, I don't know, like, are you like best friends, or do you feel like there's something different in that dynamic?
Well, after so many years, it's absolutely different. The only thing is we see each other also at Christmas parties and family parties. And for the rest, in the band, it's good because as two brothers, you can say everything to each other, and it always ends up good. You don't really have hard feelings or whatever. So that is the release of the band. If there's something, a struggle or something there, and after almost 33 years together, this in October will be 33 years in this year. You need this kind of release of steam, it can collapse, many bands does, but we as brothers, it works, and then we just leave each other. Only thing is, like, after a tour of some weeks where we did in the past, and then we have a birthday, and then again we see each other, we have nothing to tell each other, So, but it works for us. So I hope I know with other families it doesn't even work, brothers or brother sister or sister, they can even handle each other one time a year to see each other around Christmas. But so we are lucky that it helps and it works with us, how it is.
Nice. I'm gonna make the hard question. You probably hate this question, but what is your favorite Beautiful Distortion track and why? If it's too hard, you can give me your top 3.
Well, it's not a hard question at all. I think now something comes really heavy, but this is still a light question for me. Well, the most beautiful, it's hard to say about your own music. We just released it. I think it always needs 1 year that I don't hear it, and then I listen back, and then I know, like, okay, this is it for me. But I think the song We Rise, that gives me, because we played now live, we tried all the songs, if it works or not live. But that song gives me something like a good feeling, not only because I made it or that's really guitar orientated, but that's my instrument, and I can totally release, the energy in this song. And I know the chorus works very well also with if we play it live. Even I recorded it with three guitars, different guitar layers, and I can only play one, but yeah, that song really works for me. So I have to, if I have to make one song, yeah, then I think it will be the song "We Rise."
Nice. And now that you've already played them, all your songs, the beautiful, I think it was all of them, right? The beautiful Distortion songs. You've already played all of them live?
Yeah, at least we tried in the rehearsal and we tried in the sound check. And later on, we skipped a few songs, especially that song "When We Fall." It's a beautiful song, but it's hard to play with only 5 people on stage. We miss something kind of, there you call again the chemistry, and you have to bring it on stage as well. And for example, in the recordings, it starts with 2 drum sounds layered on each other. Well, you know, Hans can only drum one part of it, and we can do with computers and make it like a distorted sound extra and well, but then still it doesn't work. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So that song live is really, really hard to do. And we don't give up. We're still going to try it in the rehearsal room. Like, can we nail it or not? But also we can only play like 1.5 hours, 2 hours a set. And we made 12 albums. Well, even one song of one album, and there you have already 70 minutes of music. So we have to skip songs. That's not easy. And you always want to play the beautiful classical songs what we did in the past. And yeah, so we have to make decisions as well, like what we're gonna play live. And are we gonna make more a balanced kind of set, or we're going to do more the rock orientated set? And my heart goes out to more guitar orientated set. So for the Mexican shows and South America, I think we're going to try way more the guitar songs, also from the from the other albums. Yeah, I can say old because some are a bit old. So it's a decision what we're going to do. Yeah.
And how did fans react to your new songs? Did you hear them singing, or how was it?
In Holland, the fans are really spoiled. They stand there with a glass of beer and then like, okay, let's, accept what happens and that's it. They're not that open or that enthusiastic. With a Dutch band playing in your own country, it's hard to get that kind of atmosphere that is, call it a positive craziness that you have in South America or in Mexico, and people really enjoy it, and you see the feedback after the song. That's really great. But that enthusiastic of that they sing along or whatever, no, that doesn't happen here. No. Not with us in the Netherlands, no.
So, yeah, because Mexican fans sing their lungs out.
Yeah, I know, and that's the beauty of it. And not even the vocal lines, also guitar melodies, they sing along, and that's totally unique for even they don't do it anywhere here in Europe. So that's the unique thing of Mexico and the other countries. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna ask, how does it feel to come back to Mexico after, I think, over 10 years? You played in 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a long time, and I know. And it's not only the COVID that shifted us 3 years further, or 2 years. It's a long time, I know. A lot of happened to all of us. That's why we had some delay in life and also delay in finishing the album. But that's what happens. Yeah.
Life happens.
That's what's life. And I can't wait to do the shows. And I hope, that the COVID will not change anything more again there, because even now it's becoming summer here, but the infections are getting, again, very high here in the Netherlands. But it's a variation, so you get only sick of it, not really heavy. But still, the hospitals getting, again, with other people, old people. They are hospitalized, so they go to the hospital. Also now in summertime, so they're already thinking and preparing for when the autumn starts here, about how we're going to handle this kind of, what we're going to do if there's another kind of variation of the Delta or whatever it will be.
Mm-hmm.
How we're going to handle it here in the Netherlands. And I'm afraid if it happens here, maybe there are restrictions or on flying again, restrictions on how many people in the airplane, restriction on how many people in venues. And if it happens here, it's all over the world, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe also they say Mexico, like, okay, nice, but only 500 people in the venue or less, or then I don't think we can manage to make it over. So hopefully not, but it's still
fingers
not,
crossed.
It's still not over, and it will never disappear. I hope it will be a softer variation, that it will be like a gripe, like that's a gripe variation, that it ends up like that. But let's hoping that happens in a few months, and that we can still do our job and play.
Yeah. And the first question, how was like your creative process during the pandemic? I know it's still going on, but during lockdown, when everything was closed and you had to stay at home, like how was your creative process to come up with new material, or what impulsed you to create something new?
Well, it doesn't work for me. Like now you have to be locked down, and we even had an evening clock here for a few months, so everybody had to be at home 9 o'clock. That doesn't make for me like, okay, now I'm going to sit down and play guitar and write music. Because I always do that. It's just moments that I play and write music, and then it's more a spontaneous thing. I can't sit down and do it forced. So for me, the COVID moment was more like, what I'm going to do if this continues for many years. That was also possible. That it only happened 2 years. We have to be lucky in a way. If you compare it, and it's called here the Spanish flu, what we had in 1900 at the beginning, that took 5 or 6 years. Then I had some problems financially as well, and what to do, and then I had to really find another day job and see what we could do. But for Corona, at that time I was more developing, because I'm an electrician, and I developed and building my own pedals, and that's what I did, and that's what I continue doing now, because I love to do this electronical part again. And make my own pedals, the distortions, a beautiful distortion.
Beautiful.
But the distortion, the fuzz pedals, and some delays and boosters, all that kind of stuff I make now myself, and I want to release it. So that's what I did in the Corona time. I just did something else that I could do at home, and develop.
Yeah, I mean, that's still creative in a way, so creating nonetheless.
True. But most of the music was already done. It was just how we're going to record it, and with all the struggles and the delay on it, and
So producer, I hope I've pronounced it right, Addie Bob, who also produced Home and How to Measure a Planet, collaborated in Beautiful Distortion. What was it like to work with him again?
Well, we just came in contact again with Addie, because he's also some kind of whiz kid, but then with gray hair. But he is, he just changed also in the Corona time. He changed his whole studio into Dolby Atmos. That's another kind of mixing music. It's very it's popular in the gaming industry. The movie industry also happens. A lot of cinemas, the bigger cinemas, has this Dolby Atmos system, so that you are in the cinema and watching a movie, and you hear the rain really falling down from the top to the bottom next to you, and some footsteps behind you, and that kind of things. That's all three-dimensional sound around you. And he changed his studio also for making it for music. And we are one of the first bands in the Netherlands who did this mixing as well. So we had, okay, and he needed a band, and he said, well, let's do it together. So that's also, we came in contact and we said, okay, let's mix a Dolby Atmos album. And we did now, but we didn't release it yet. You know, next month we release all the vinyl. We did now the digital and the CD. And next month all the vinyls will be released, and also our box. We have this kind of box with everything in it. And then the Dolby Atmos will be released, I think in September. And I hope Systems, who has it, will put it on so you can listen to. And I hope soon the gaming industry come out with a kind of, I see you having also a headphone on, that they make some kind of headphone with this drivers in it, with 11 drivers or 12, that you can listen to this kind of atmospheric kind of album system. So then you have some vocals that will disappear from the front to the back and from the top to the bottom. We did some kind of extra sounds in it that's not in the album now, like rain samples and that kind of stuff, and noisy, but also this guitar delays that comes all around your head. And yeah, that kind of mixing. Yeah, there are only 2 studios here in the Netherlands who can do that, and he has one of them. And that's why we work with him again on this new platform as Dolby Atmos. So yeah, and it's fantastic to work with him. You know, he has so passion in making music, and he not only thinking about the technical part, but also the emotional part. And that's more important for him nowadays than the technical part. So a lot of producers only think this is possible, this is not possible, but he's more like, why? And then, yeah, you get more like an atmospherical, emotional music finishing product. And that's fantastic to work with him. And yeah, and it's lovely. He's more a friend than just a producer. Yeah.
Nice. That's the kind of the feeling I get from the gathering. You were saying you guys are so close together that you can like translate that into music. Like, I feel like, I mean, you literally have your brother there, but I feel like you guys are like family, and that really like bleeds through your music. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We started like that, you know. We just there's a holiday, there's somebody's birthday, and we celebrate it all together. And even in the past, when we were way younger, we went out. You know, we went to go to clubs and to a pub to drink beers, and also, you know, when we didn't have concerts. So it's just a group of friends who make music. Yeah,
that's really nice. How does it feel to be part of an industry with a lot of new bands that look up to the gathering? Because you obviously set an example and like have inspired a lot of upcoming bands.
Yeah, that's it. You know, if they mention it and they say, but sometimes you hear it really that, you know, like they it's not a copy from us, but inspired. And that's what we did in the past as well. So that's only like, I appreciate it. It's kind of honor. And it's also good, you know, we have to make room for new bands. I love it because all the time the same bands on festivals, that's not how it works. So I love it that there are younger bands, you know, doing festivals and that kind of shows, and even have the time to go to club shows, you know, even learn from them how they change and how they put down their ideas of even about, you know, the technical thing of how a song structure works, that they come up with solutions like that. I was like, why I didn't think about that, you know, fantastic, you know, the solution there, they nail it and that kind of stuff. So I love it. Yeah. And I still go to concerts from other bands. And so that's, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Nice. And lastly, do you have a message for your Mexican fans that are looking forward to seeing you perform in September?
Well, I hope they enjoy the songs we're gonna play. You know, we play some new songs, but also the classical old ones that fits with the new songs. And yeah, probably also some surprises we're gonna play. So yeah, just enjoy it, and hopefully, yeah, I can't say we have a beer afterwards because that's a bit too tricky to do nowadays. Like what we did in the past, you know, if we have some time and we travel the next day and we have a later airplane scheduled, then we go out as well to a pub, or in the venue, you know, sometimes. Yeah, I think it's too hard now to do that. With the corona restrictions, and you know, Mexico is the first country we're going to play, so we have to be really careful at the beginning, like what we're going to do. And yeah, but yeah, I can't wait to play, and yeah, enjoy the people, enjoy the food, enjoy everything, every part of it, every minute. And yeah, so I really can't wait to go. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we're looking forward to receiving you in Mexico. Thank you so much for your time, René. Best luck with your new record, and also almost 2 weeks early, but wishing you a happy birthday in advance.
Oh, thank you. You even, yeah, it's almost 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, it goes really fast. And I become 50. That's also a kind of number that I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, where's the time? But yeah, I don't feel 50.
That's what matters.
Feel somewhere in the 30s. So that's the most important thing. And yeah, absolutely. But thank you very much. Thank you for the interview.